Dude, what are you doing? What are you doing? Goodness, what a display. Okay. Hold on. Right here. Right here. Come on, this way. Oh my goodness. Hi everyone. Good morning. I hope y'all are doing great today. You can see we're just walking out the door for a stroll. It's about 8:30. Nice morning out here. We just went through a couple of days of windstorm. Wasn't the worst wind that we've seen. The shower tent is still standing, which is great. I've got some different tie downs on it than I used to have. And they really hold it well in place. Our friend Pam took off for the year. Looks like she left her fire smoldering over here. But her friend there is watching over it till it peters out. Looks like it's about burned out. But she came by yesterday. Y'all remember Pam? I've known her for some years now. She stopped by yesterday. I had her come over because her solar panel wires, she had caught them on something. She's had come in contact with some things at the roof of her rig. I think she tried to go through a McDonald's drive-through and scraped on the pole that says, if you hit this pole, you can't come through here. But her wires, they weren't damaged or anything. They had just gotten pulled out from where they were set up under there, and they were kind of just hanging over the edge on her driver's side. So I got my ladder out yesterday, climbed up there, and just a couple of zip ties, and zip tied them to a new location so they can't get pulled. They're all tucked up under the panels now. They're not exposed. And I'm pretty certain that's how I had them before. So she doesn't know. She thinks she had some branches. And also checked her oil and tranny fluid. She actually, she had to get a new tranny put in her rig. It was last year when she left Arizona. Oh, I gotta pause video. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, she had left here last year and she was on her way up north somewhere. And her transmission suddenly wouldn't go out of second gear. And luckily she was able to get off of the interstate and there was a transmission shop like right there. And I gotta pause video again. Okay, sorry about that. So she got to that transmission shop and they were able to replace it. Wasn't cheap. I think it was $6,000. So she's concerned about, checking the fluid in it. And so one thing I told her, because she made comments like, does she need to put some in? And I said, well, in the normal operation of a transmission and an engine for that matter, I told her, they don't use their oil or their tranny fluid. If it's not leaking and everything's functioning correctly, you don't ever have to add. I said, now these older diesels, hers is a Duramax, they might burn some. So oil, I would expect to add some engine oil on these older diesels. But a brand new transmission, I told her, just check it, but you shouldn't have to add any, And you know how tranny fluid is really hard to see on the dipstick. So I showed her like on the back side of the dipstick. On hers, it's easier to see than the front side. So everything checked out. She had perfect engine oil level and perfect tranny fluid. So I think she's in good shape now. Hey, what are you doing? This dog, what are you doing? Huh? Come on. Goodness gracious. So today like I said, we just had a couple days of windstorms. So we were just inside. But I wanted to walk around today. We're starting to get some blooms on the desert weeds out here. I think it's going to be a good bloom year because of all the rain we've had. Hey, let's go this way. Easy. Here's the interstate wash out here. Yeah, we're getting some blooms. I've seen some purple, some yellow, and some white. But we came out yesterday and took a walk in the morning before the wind started back up. And I brought y'all along and recorded. I had my phone. And then when I got back and looked at the footage, it was all unusable because of the audio was just terrible. And that made me think when that happened, I'm like, I've got to get, it's coming up on, my phone is coming up on, it'll be 4 years old in June. Look at this growth back here. Wow. Really does not look like the same area. We've never seen it like this before. This is incredible. But yeah, the phone is due, and I know a lot of you can relate to this, but I cannot bring myself to pay. I looked at I'm a Samsung person, and the Galaxy, I think it's S24 is the newest one. Ultra is like, I think it's $1,300. $1,300. The phone that I have, it's a Galaxy A51. It was not top of the line when I bought it. It was a $400 phone, and they gave a $200 rebate card, and then I sold my previous one for $60 on eBay. So I ended up $140 out of pocket. And here we are almost 4 years later. So did I get my money's worth out of that phone? Heck yeah, I did. But it still functions. Everything functions normally. They actually are still updating it. Samsung pushed an update just like 2 weeks ago. So it's still being supported. But, you know, as internet and data and processing needs change, the phone hasn't changed any. It's still just as functional as it's always been, but the demands that are being put on it are so much greater. And that's what happens with computers, phones. Things change over time, and they can't perform as snappy as they used to, not because they're broken or anything, but because they're being asked to do what didn't exist when they were new. Look at these little cuties. That's so cool. So nice to see color out here. We got into town yesterday and did our laundry. Y'all saw that giant bag of dirty laundry I had. I can clean out the percolator and the coffee cup inside in the sink, but when we're parked like this, I do it outside. I don't like to put a lot of food scraps or even coffee scraps down into my gray water tank under the sink, so it's easy enough to come out here, and that's why I keep the blue water jug back here, because it's very handy. Now, when we're like on the road and I make coffee, I just clean it out inside. Now, you missed that off camera. I have a hole that I dug just over there, and I dump the coffee grounds in it every day. And then when we're done here, I bury that. It's pretty common when you're out hiking around camp areas, you find coffee grounds. You know, people dump their coffee grounds out in the dirt, which I don't think that's an issue. And coffee grounds are organic. The garbage bags go right on the bumper here, and I throw a bungee cord across them. I think I got my money's worth out of this bag, huh? So all I do here, you know, we've got the door bumpers on the backs of the doors. I just throw one bungee over these, and it holds it nice and tight. The garbage dump is just a couple miles up the road. And got some cardboard to get rid of. You can see what showed up recently. Lefty's Chewy box. Hasn't the price of dog food jumped up lately? Well, like over the last year, it's gone from, he gets like it's like a 33 or 35 pound bag. It used to be $53, and now it's like 75, just in the last year. I don't know who to thank for that. So excited. Hi, sweetie. Good morning. I always do a visual check to make sure I haven't left any cabinets open. And I do lock up all my cabinets when we travel around, as long as I use the right key, David. They're color coded and everything, and I still mess it up. There we go. Last. Okay, buddy. Okay. Okay. Stay. Stay. Okay, sis. Easy, girl. That's a good puppy. That's a good girl. He's such a sweetie. He's such a sweetheart. Yes, you are. You're a very sweet girl. Oh, very sweet girl. Okay. I'm right here, buddy. Got that done. It took 3 machines, you know, 3 wash loads, 2 dryer loads. I did all my bed sheets and blanket and everything. Well, we were riding into town, and one of the things that you see, you know, out in this area, and you know, any areas, New Mexico, Arizona, when you're traveling, you see litter. You know, some of it is intentional. Some of it gets blown out of dumpsters and trash cans. I remember watching, if you've seen the series Mad Men, great series, by the way, if you've never watched Mad Men, really awesome. But there was one scene where they were at a little park, Don and the family and Betty and the kids, and they had a little picnic on a blanket. And when they decided it was time to get up and go, Don stood up and grabbed the blanket and just shook it off. And, you know, a couple of beer cans and food wrappers and stuff just out onto the grass, and then they got in the car and took off. And I think it was interesting that they put that scene in there, because I would have to guess that maybe back in, that was like 1960 or 61 that was set in, that back then, you know, there wasn't as much of a focus on keeping places clean as there is now. And maybe littering was more of a thing back then, but really interesting that they threw that scene in there. That always struck me. But we're driving into town. And it's pretty common out here on the side of the road heading into town on the side of 95, and you'll see like a bag of garbage. And so I try to give the benefit of the doubt, like, oh, that person pulled over, was doing something and forgot to take their garbage bag with them. And I'm sure that that's the case some of the time. And then other times people just ditch their garbage and take off. And there's no reason to do that out here because it is so easy to get rid of your garbage. There's a transfer station that's free. They take pretty much anything. But, you know, if it's open 4 days a week and if you're pulling out of town on one of the days it's closed and you got this bag of garbage and you don't know what to do with it, that might force someone to think that they've got to just set it on the side of the road and take off, which is, you know, not cool because there's a lot of ways to get rid of garbage. You know, you can strap a bag of garbage to the back of your vehicle. Worst case, find a dumpster at a park or something or a garbage can and get rid of it. You know, a lot of places out here, they have to be very careful about putting garbage cans out for public use because what happens to them? If you're out here, you know, that garbage can will get so overloaded, people will just, you know, one garbage can will turn into 500 pounds of garbage all piled up around it. You know, I have put small garbage bags, like a little Walmart shopping bag full of garbage. I'll stuff that sometimes into the garbage can at the gas station when we're putting diesel in the rig. And I don't feel bad about doing that because, like, I'm a paying customer and it's a small garbage bag that fits through the small opening in the garbage can. So I don't feel bad about doing that. But we're driving into town and there's a car coming on towards us and they threw garbage out the window. And it really kind of shocked me because I'm like, really? Like in this day and age that people still do that? And I guess sometimes I don't like live in a bubble, but sometimes things hit me like that. And it might be a very common thing, just I haven't seen it. And it really shocked me. It really shocked me to see that. And it wasn't it looked like it was like a drink cup from fast food, you know? Because as it came out the window, it like sprayed a bunch of liquid and then the cup bounced on the side. Like, really? You can't find somewhere to put a soda cup in the garbage? Like, there's a million places to get rid of that. Not on the side of the road. And the biggest reason that litter offends is the aesthetic. You know, yes, it's bad for the environment and it's the aesthetic. Who wants to look at a bunch of garbage and stuff laying around? That's what always gets me, is the way that it makes you feel when you see a bunch of garbage. It just doesn't feel good. And I think a lot of people have different takes on things, and it doesn't bother some people as much, but kind of irks me. What do you guys feel about it? Does the sight of litter on the ground bother you like it does me? Anyways, hey, this way. Lefty, good Lord. You know how I say I want to go this way, but he wants to go that way? Man, when he puts all 8 cylinders on it, and I've only got one arm on his leash, he makes it tough on me sometimes. Anyways, well, we got our laundry done, got filled up with water and such, got some food, got back here, spent the day inside because of the wind. It wasn't cold, wasn't too hot, thankfully. There's nothing worse than a hot day and you're stuck inside because of the wind. Like keeping the windows open is even tough because of the sand blowing, and we had some airborne sand. I can't complain though, because we've had a really mild winter as far as windstorms go. And I did have to wipe down the countertops and everything from the sand that was blowing around. But haven't had to do that much this year because of all the rain. It'd be nice to get some more rain now. Really pop off all these blooming little weeds and grasses out here. There's some white ones. All right, we got to take a detour and cut up this way, buddy. Hup, hup. Okay, we're gonna cross and get up top here. Hup, this way. Come on. Come on, pup. Come on. Hey. We just came back from the laundromat. I'm going to go on record. I think that was the most laundry I've ever done in one shot. I had 3 washers and 2 dryers. When we got there, I kind of scoped out the parking lot, and it was only about half full. So I'm like, okay, great. I go in the door. There was not one machine available. I had to wait. It was only a couple minutes. I had to wait for a woman to finish with 2 machines, and then I waited for a third one. So, but I did all the sheets, blanket, everything. So it was a lot. And all of my dirty clothes, which, well, you saw the bag, it was a lot. I broke a 20 in the quarter machine, and I dang near went through it all. Well, not really. It's 3 machines at $2.50 each, and then $3 the dryers, $1. So that's $10.50. I spent half of the $20. So I don't want to sound dramatic, but $10.50 on laundry, that's pretty good. Plus I ran out of detergent. I had those sheets for detergent, and I ran out. I had to buy two $1 detergents out of the machine and $1 bleach. I don't carry bleach. So when I do my whites separate, I buy a $1 thing of liquid bleach to pour in there, because I can do that. But running out of detergent, not smart. I did have dryer sheets, so I'm gonna have to pick up some more of those detergent sheets that I've been using. It's windy out, so I just got all the clothes put away, and I got to make the bed, put the new sheets, new pillowcases on. In fact, there's my old pillowcases. Let's have a moment of silence here. These are done. These are the ones that got all shredded up. So I do have the new ones. So I was about to throw them in the garbage, and Bobby said, no, save them, because you might need to sop up a spill or something. So I'm going to leave them here for a few days, and if I don't need them for that, then I'll toss them. Because I do have plenty of like shop rags. I carry, well, all of you do the same, I'm sure. All my retired t-shirts are in with all my oils and everything. And I have a roll of the blue shop towels, the paper towel kind of things. I have a roll of those too. I did see some people I knew at the laundromat, though, that I haven't seen in quite a while, which was great. I like seeing folks from the past. And if you've ever been out, when you're traveling through the Southwest and you're on the interstate and you pull off some of these exits where there's like a shut down service station, a gas station that's abandoned, and there'll be garbage and it's all wind blown, and it's just so ugly to look at. Whenever I see those like abandoned gas stations, they are creepy. There's something about them that really, to this day, they're just creepy to me. I don't know what it is. I go through this whole, what was it like when it was open? Why is it closed? Some of them don't look in really bad a shape, like they haven't been abandoned that long. Others are, you can tell they've been abandoned for a long time. But they just kind of, I don't know, just kind of spooky. It's so weird. And some of them, like where they're located, it's like, well, no wonder. I mean, they will be in the middle of nowhere. Just, and they're off a little exit that there's nothing else. It would just be that service station. It's like, no wonder it's shut down. Holy smokes. There's no reason to get off here. Like the first times I came across those years ago, they creeped me out. And still to this day, there's just something about them. And we've stopped and pulled over just to stretch our legs before at those kind of places. And I do that, I don't want to say on purpose, but I do it just to experience the vibe and the feel of what it's like out there. But seeing all the garbage around, I hate seeing that. And when, especially when you can see that somebody dumped a whole garbage bag. That's terrible seeing. I don't like to see that at all. I remember back when we first started traveling, there were times when like I had to get rid of garbage and I would get, I don't know, panicky kind of, because I didn't know all the places where you could get rid of it. And I would like find a dumpster behind a Safeway or something and be like, oh, I can put it in here. And I'd pull up fast and throw it in and take off. And I think back to that, and that was just ridiculous. It was silly, I didn't know any better. But I quickly learned where I can dump my garbage calmly and not have to worry about getting caught for doing it. Crazy. All right, let me get the bed made here, and I gotta eat. I'm hungry. Hi, puppy. Hi. It's my boy. All right, thanks everyone for being with us today. I appreciate you all being here. Everybody take care, be safe. We'll see y'all again really soon. And remember, if you want to show the lefty love and grab a sticker, head on over to thecampulanceman.com. I mail those out personally. Be really appreciated if you all grab them and plaster Lefty's face all around this great country of ours. What are you doing on my chair? Excuse me? What are you doing on my chair? Dude, what, you like that one gets you up high like that? So you can police the area? Are you in charge? Look at your tail sticking straight up. What a goof. It's a little small for you, buddy. Don't you think? I think it's a little small for you. This one right here looks perfect. Huh? No? Oh. Wanna finish your breakfast? Good boy. What? That's it? Hey, you know better than that. Oh. Excuse me. I don't know what that means. Gosh. Brother. Brother. Hey. English. 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 Ga ga ga. Back to the food.